You could be your own best friend with you all the time to keep reminding you, calm down, it's going to be okay. Just look at it from this other perspective. But then you actually have to be willing to take the advice and calm down and start to take responsibility for your own experience. So you have to then take the next step, which is, okay, notice what's happening. So, for example, if you think about whatever it is that's not optimal in your life, and you just notice as you think about it now, and you could try to amp it up, try to like get yourself stirred up about it, just so you can have some of that, the feelings there, and then just slow down and notice what's actually happening. What is your actual experience? If the overlays are there that say, yeah, but it's about this, that, and the other, it's these other people or these situations or whatever, just notice, is that actually true? Is it actually true that anybody else or anything outside of you is causing what you're actually experiencing right now? Or is it actually true that you're experiencing this entirely within yourself? And might it be useful to just find out what it actually is? So then you could slow down within yourself and notice, what is this actually? What is really here? What's really happening? And you could notice that what's happening right now is hearing, seeing, feeling, tasting, and smelling. And if you just are willing to keep slowing it down, just stay with the actual experience as it is right now, you'll almost certainly, not almost, you will certainly notice that that is what continues to occur, is seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, smelling. And then you'll probably notice, to whatever degree you do at least, those overlays that pop in that say, oh, but what about this? But what about that? But what about this? Maybe it's this, maybe it's this other thing. You don't want to forget about this. You have to take this action. It might go really badly. It might be unbearable. It might be the end of the world. It might be this. It might be that. So you might notice those things as well, those overlays that come in. And then you could just check in again and notice, okay, and what is the actual experience? And again, you'll certainly notice that the actual experience is feeling, hearing, seeing, tasting, smelling. So the actual experience is always that. It's always only that, which is really kind of amazing. So we make a really big deal out of it, but we don't usually acknowledge what it really is. So if you tell the truth about it, you're almost always you're actually focused on the overlays. So it's all the basically failed theories from the past that pop up trying to be helpful. I mean, and to be fair, I mean, an overwhelming majority of the things that come up are helpful, but you don't have to become aware of them because you're not perceiving you have a problem. So most of it is entirely functional. It's just that the stuff that you become aware of, those are the failed things. You become aware of them because there's friction there, because they're not working. And so those are the things where it's like, but what about this? But what about that? But you should think about this, but you should figure out this thing. And this is scary. And you don't want to let that happen. And what about this? All of those kinds of overlays, those are failed theories from the past. They have not succeeded in actually accurately addressing what's going on, or sufficiently accurately addressing what's going on in order to make it frictionless. So instead, you're experiencing friction, and you could just keep giving attention to them, hoping that if you just keep doing that, after all of this time that it will somehow miraculously just give you a different result. Or you could take that as a reminder that you haven't actually understood what's really happening here. And so it will be useful to actually notice what's really happening. So in some way, you probably could, and so I have at times completely resolved things just by staying with the direct experience. That's really, really powerful. And what's nice about it is that it's available to anybody, so you don't really have to learn any other techniques or anything. It's just always there. All you have to do is just slow down and stay with what's actually happening, which is always going to be seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, smelling. But you can't just tell yourself that. You have to notice that. That's the thing about it is you have to really actually notice it. So so it's possible that you might develop a strategy in the mind that says, "Oh yeah, I already know what's happening. It's all the senses. I've already figured that out." But that won't. That's not the same as actually slowing down and noticing. So to actually apply what I'm saying, you have to really be willing to slow down and notice what is actually happening, to really notice it directly now and now and now and now, and to just stay with that. Because as you stay with that, then what happens is all this stuff, like I said, those overlays pop up. But if you don't give your attention to them, if instead you stay with the actual experience as it is, then those things will lose their energy, and instead something new will emerge.